Hey everybody, here for Love and Hip Hop season 6 episode 3. Let's get into it. So it starts off where it ended last week. That last week with Tara, Amina, and Peter. After Amina announced that she was pregnant, so her and Tara are basically going back and forth on who's more of a side chick than the other. And I'm just like, okay, both of y'all, whether you want to believe it or not, y'all are both side chicks. Because, I mean, you were messing with Peter when he was with Tara. Tara, you're messing with Peter while he's with Amina now and they're married. And you're very, very naive and gullible to believe that him and Amina aren't together. They're still married. If he hasn't said that him and Amina are divorced or that they filed papers, then you don't need to be messing with him. And Tara, I was rooting for you. I really was. Season 3 and season 4, I had your back. No, she wasn't in season 3. Season 4 and season 5, I had your back. You stupid this season. And then for us to hear that you pregnant by him, yeah, you dumb. You dumber than a box of rocks. You dumber than Amina. Y'all are equally dumb. But Amina is a little bit dumber because Amina keeps believing his lies. And now all of a sudden she's over it and doesn't want to deal with him and all this other craziness, whatever. So DJ Self takes his girlfriend Yorma out for a nice dinner. And, he said he feels like he wants to take her out for dinner because he doesn't want her to think that he's not proud to show her off. So she's like, well, we're at dinner together by ourselves. Why can't we go somewhere where other people will see us or whatever? He was like, well, we can. My girl Mariah Lynn is having a birthday party and I'm inviting you and I'm bringing you there as my girlfriend. She's like, oh. And I'm like, but why, if y'all been dating for a year, why is he not claiming you? I don't get it. Why are you with him for a year if he's not telling people you're his girlfriend? And then you gotta wait to go places. You gotta wait for events to come up to go places and do stuff. That makes no sense. If that's your girlfriend, y'all should be able to walk down the street to the grocery store together and it be no problem. So what is it that Self really has to hide? Whatever. So Mo meets up with Yandy to discuss Rashida as the manager. She thinks that Rashida should not be BBOD's manager. And Yandy is like, well, Rashida has no, she doesn't have the qualifications to be a manager. She has no, she has no experience. So why is she a manager? So Yandy was basically coming from a business standpoint. Like, Rashida is not a manager. I thought Rashida was selling shoes. And I'm like, right. But whatever. So Mariah Lynn is in the studio with Self and they're working on her music. And somehow, Mariah Lynn said that Rich Dollars will be hosting her party. And DJ Self was like, oh, what's going on with you and Richie D? And she like, well, we dated for a year off and on in the past. But it wasn't nothing. We still cool or whatever. So Cardi B arrives and she's telling Mariah Lynn about wanting to be an artist and taken seriously, and Self is just like not taking her serious because he's like, what if she has music and I don't like it? Like, it sucks. That would ruin our friendship. But I'm like, well, what if she has music that's like nice and you do like it and you put her out there and her first single or whatever blows up, then what? Like, you just sometimes have to take a chance. And I mean, if her music sucks, that would be on her. It wouldn't be on you. And that's why she's coming to you, because she wants you to help perfect her sound. Like, that's all it's about in the music industry, is taking risks. So, Cardi is just like, yeah, I'm just trying to get my music taken seriously, and Self doesn't take me serious as an artist. So I'm like, but Self is just basically like, what Cardi, with the Cardi situation is business versus pleasure. And we got to keep it straight. We got to keep it straight up business and not always on the pleasure. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And then not to mention that, Yorma is your girl. So, my two favorite married couples on this season, Pap and Remy and Yendi and Mendices meet up to hang out. And they're discussing Mendices' upcoming prison sentence and how Papoose was able to deal with Remy going away. And, Papoose is like, well, when they go away to prison, it affects the whole family. It changes the whole family dynamic. but you have to hold them down because that's your partner. So Remy is like, yeah, it was, they don't know what it's like to be in jail and deal with what we deal with every day. And Remy was like, if Yandy is anything like Papoose, they want the house, they want this, they want that. And Mendices is like, yeah, Yandy wants the 10 houses and a million babies, and I'm just not the type to leave my responsibilities on her. And I'm like, see, that makes a lot of sense because y'all could have all these babies and y'all could get all these houses, and then Yandy is dealing with lawyer fees and um, collect calls from Mendices, putting money on his books, putting money in his commissary, just all kinds of things, sending him food. It's a lot. It takes a toll on you. So I understand what Yandy is saying, like, live in the moment, but sometimes you have to get a reality check every now and then. And y'all need to slow down. Y'all need to slow down and y'all got to budget y'all money because he's going away for a long time. So it was cool to see that they both have something in common and that, it's married people getting advice from each other, from married people. So Mo and Lexi meet up and they're working out or whatever. And, Mo basically tells Lexi, I'm meant to meet up with Yandy, and Yandy is saying that Rashida is not fit to be our manager and we need to find better. And Lexi is like, well, why are you meeting up with managers behind Rashida's back if Rashida's our manager? And she's like, because Rashida is not fit to be our manager and we need new management. So I'm like, oh, Lord, these two. So Mendices is doing like a community. He's speaking to like the community about like bad decisions, trying to reach out to the youth or whatever. And the one thing I do like about Mendices as a person is that he does reach out to kids, especially because he was that kid that grew up who was bad, made bad life decisions, and it's catching up to him. So he's just trying to reach out and stop other kids from doing so, try to keep them occupied and doing stuff that'll keep like a positive path in their lives, which I really like about him. So him and his son, Lil Mendices, are sitting there talking, and Mendices is like, there might come a time where I'm going away for a while, but I don't want you to ever think or have anybody put in your head that I left you or I abandoned you, because it's not true at all. Me leaving, it's out of my hands. It's not my decision, but know that I'll always be here for you. And I'm like, every scene with Yandy and Mendices and their kids just melt my heart. Because first of all, they got some beautiful kids. They have some beautiful kids. But it's like having to tell your child that, hey, you may not see daddy for a long time, but I want you to know that I love you. That's heartbreaking. That's really heartbreaking. But I'm glad Mendices is letting him know, like, I love you. This is something we're just going to get over. We're going to deal with it, and everything will be fine in the end. Like reassurance. So Amina is home with her sister Jazz, her twin sister Jazz, and she's talking to Jazz about not wanting to have another baby with Peter. She wants to get away from him. And even Jazz, when she told Jazz that she felt like Tara moving there was a better idea to keep Peter home or whatever, Jazz was like, seriously? Y'all really thought that was a good idea for Tara to move in the same building? I'm like, right. Any person in their right mind would think that is the dumbest idea ever. So Amina is just like, I don't want another baby with Peter. I'm trying to get away from him. He doesn't love me. But if I leave him, I'm messed up. If I stay with him, I'm messed up. And Jazz was like, you're not messed up if you leave him. You're messed up if you stay with him because you don't deserve what he's giving you. And I'm like, right, just leave him. What are you really losing out on by leaving Peter? He's not helping you with your career. He's not helping you in any way. Peter is all about Peter. So move on. You can find better, and you can find somebody who will treat you better, because Peter Guns is a pig. So, okay, BBOD, they're rehearsing their song, Thought. These chicks cannot rap. I'm sorry. All they saying throughout the whole song is delicious, delicious. I'm like, really? Really? Like, we serious? Like, really? I was like, oh my gosh. And Rashida wants to manage them? No. So Ra meets up with them. Lexi tries to find a happy medium between her and Mo. And Mo basically said, well, I met up with Yandy, and Yandy said that we should find better management. So Rashida, of course, feels offended because she's like, her, first of all, we all know her and Yandy don't really rock with each other like that after season 4, I think, season 4 or season 5, I don't remember. But yeah, so Rashida is like, well, I don't know why she's going to Yandy. Yandy ain't have nobody pop since Jim Jones. I'm like, yeah, but Yandy know her stuff when it come to being a manager. Can't say the same for you. So she's like, well, see, this is why we can't work together, me and Mo, because you're disloyal. And that's disloyal. You don't go behind my back and take meetings with other managers without coming to me first. And she's like, you know what? I would rather not deal with y'all. I would rather not manage y'all. So go ahead and find other management. And then they left on that note. So, Mo, she doesn't care. And Lexi is like, well, see, y'all both got pride. And if y'all would have both put your pride aside, we could have worked this out. Now we don't have a manager. I'm like, oh, well. So Yandy and Mendices are getting dressed and kissing their kids goodbye and everything because Mendices is going to be sentenced. So, it's like a long dramatic scene with them saying goodbye to the kids and then off to go to the courthouse for his sentencing. They didn't say what his sentencing was, but we know what it is already. So now we're at Mariah Lynn's birthday party. And, Self is there. He's with Yorma, showing her off. Everybody that comes up to him, he's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend, Yorma. So, Rich and Mariah Lynn see each other and they're reconnecting and they're talking and they're sitting in their own private booth. And, Mariah Lynn is like, well, I just want to be a little close to you. And Rich is like, well, I did make a promise to my daughter that I would not bring any women home and I would, put the creeping on hold for a bit. So I want Mariah Lynn to calm down a little bit. And I'm like, these two are like the most unlikely pair ever. But then again, Rich Dollars sleeps with anything that has a vagina. It doesn't even matter. So, Self said that Cardi had an event to go to, but Cardi said the event ended early, so she came to Mariah Lynn's party. So she's looking around, saying hi, said hi to Mariah Lynn. Then she notices Self and Yoma sitting in a booth. So she goes up to him and she's like, what's poppin'? No, she went up to Self and said hi, and then she went up to Yorma and was like, what's poppin'? So, for those of you who don't know, in New York, when you say what's poppin', it used to mean what's up. Now when you say what's poppin', it kind of is like fighting words, depending on your tone or whatever, but it is the start of fighting words sometimes. So that's why Yorma kind of went off the way she did. And Yorma was like, what's up with you? And Cartier's like, what do you mean, what's up with me? And she's like, why you coming at me like that? And then they just started fighting or whatever. But, and that was the end of the episode. But yeah, what's popping is not the greatest thing to say when you're approaching somebody because it's kind of sort of fighting words. But I mean, that's basically where the episode ended. And then next week, we finally get to see Cardi B say forever. So yeah, that was episode 3. It wasn't really much going on. It was just dramatic. But, yeah. So yeah, next week it continues with the Cardi B Yorma fight. What else? I think Remy and Papoose. I don't remember. I don't remember what the next episode trailer is like it's gonna be. But I just know it's gonna be a continuation with the aftermath of the Cardi B and Yorma fight. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.